Hi guys, it's Jorge again. In the first video, we figured out how to log in to ExamSoft. In this video, we are going to create a question. So the first thing that we have to remember about ExamSoft is that anytime that we're creating a quiz or a test or anything like that, there are basically three steps. The first step is you create your questions. The second step is you create your assessment, your test. And then the third task is to post that assessment so that the kids have access to that exam when the time comes. All right. As we create questions, we also want to keep in mind that ExamSoft has the capability of randomizing questions, randomizing answer choices, or both. All right. So as we create our questions, we also keep in mind as to we are cognizant of the fact that those things can happen. All right, so we'll set up our questions in such a way that we either do want them randomized or we don't want them randomized. All right, so without further ado, let's head over to ExamSoft. So after our last login, all right, we should be at this screen. All right, and basically what we're going to do here is we are going to work with the create questions, and then in the next video we're going to build assessments and post them. All right, so to create questions, we can always go down here to this nice little blue tab, or we can work across the top. All right, so we're going to create questions, so I'm going to go to the questions section. All right. And for this particular example, I'm going to create a multiple choice question. All right, so I'm going to create multiple choice. So over here we have our different question types: create multiple choice, create true false, create essay, fill in the blank, matching, and then import questions. We're going to talk a little bit at the end. And that's if you have banks of questions from like ExamSoft or from a textbook or something like that, we can import those questions through there. So I'm going to create a multiple choice question. I'm going to click on the little plus sign or the little button here that says create multiple choice. All right. And then here we can go ahead and create our question. All right. So I'll show my age. All right. In what year did Mr. Moscato graduate from Bergen Catholic? All right, so I'm going to show my age here a little bit. I'm going to give some answer choices. 1974, 1984, 1984, 1994, or 2004. So the correct answer, for those of you that are waiting anxiously, is 1984. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that answer choice as correct. All right, now notice that there are these lock buttons over here. All right, so if we do give some kind of a randomized answer choice test, but we want a particular answer choice or all of the answer choices to not move around, all right, so A doesn't become C and B doesn't become D, then I can also go ahead and lock those answer choices in place so that they don't randomize. So for example, obviously in this particular question, it wouldn't work, but if you had something like an all of the above kind of answer choice, you'd usually want that one at the bottom. All right, so we would go ahead and lock that one into place. Also, with this kind of question, because all of the answer choices are in chronological order, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and lock them into place. All right, so whatever your preference is fine. So in terms of the actual question and answers, there we go. All right, we're in good shape there. All right. Now, in terms of organization of the question, all right, so we do understand that this question is part of a larger assessment, so we want to organize ourselves a little bit. So I'm going to give the question a title, and you can call it whatever you want. All right, so some teachers, what they like to do is they like to title it by test. So this is test one, question one, or whatever it is. All right, or something a little bit more descriptive. We also probably want to organize it into some kind of a folder. All right, so every teacher, all right, and you have to do that folder. We're going to click on folder, and every teacher has in their ExamSoft account folders where they can store their questions. And you also have the option of creating additional folders for yourself underneath your name. All right, so I am in the computer science department. Here I am, Mascaro, and as you can see, right, I have 3 different folders under my name. Right, so there's a little minus sign next to my name, a little plus sign there. All right, that means that I have additional folders available to me. All right, so I have a BC History, ExamSoft Troubleshooting, and Math Samples. I realize, I have a new class this year. I'm teaching AP Computer Science, so I haven't created a folder for that particular group yet. So I could go ahead and do that. All right, so next to my name, all right, as I move the mouse across, the little gear over here, all right, I have additional options, and it allows me to create a new folder. So I'll go ahead and do that, new folder. And I'll go ahead and give it a descriptive title, APCS, all right, and then create. All right, so now when you look at my account here, my file tree, all right, I have APCS, BC History, ExamSoft Troubleshooting, and Math Samples. All right, I'm going to put this particular refresher question in ExamSoft Troubleshooting. It's a folder that I have for questions that I'm testing and that sort of thing. All right, so that takes us back to the Create Multiple Choice Question setup screen. All right, refresher number 1 is my title. Change folder, ExamSoft Troubleshooting is my folder name. I could always change that again if I need to. Okay, status is draft. All right, so I'm still working on it. I haven't saved it or approved it yet. Okay, in terms of scoring, all right, this is a multiple choice question. If I was to give this as a test, this would probably be worth 1 point or something like that. So in planning ahead, you can always change the value of these questions. All right, so if this was worth 2 points or 3 points, we could go ahead and put that in. Attachments, if you have a PDF attachment to add to this particular question, not to the test in general, but just to this particular question, then you can go ahead and upload it here. All right, so as a student is taking the test and he comes across this particular question, there might be a PDF involved with that. All right, so I know some of the science teachers, if they're testing anatomy, right, and they're testing about the bones in the arm or something like that, they might have a particular diagram that they would upload for a particular question. All right. And that's pretty much all we need in terms of this particular question. All right. Down at the bottom, as we scroll down, you'll see that at the bottom it says cancel, duplicate, right? Save and approve. All questions have to be approved before they are eligible to be used on a test. All right, sometimes what teachers will do is they will save the question first and then go back with a fresh set of eyes and approve it later. All right, so we can either save it or I'm pretty sure that this question is correct. I'm pretty sure I spelled all the words right. I'm pretty sure that my answer choice is correct. So I can go ahead and approve this question. So I'll click on approve. All right, and there we've created our first question. All right. If I go back to questions, all right, I'm ready now to maybe start putting together a test or something like that, and I click on questions above, all right, and I go down to my ExamSoft Troubleshooting folder, all right, and I look at all of these questions that I've created in the past, I can see that here's the question that I created. Refresher number 1. All right, there's the ID and then the revision number, so I haven't revised it. This is the first version of this particular question. All right, and if I forget what the question says, I can go ahead and preview it there. All right, so just kind of mouse over the preview, and you get a little pop-up of what that question might look like. Okay, the little asterisk means that that's the right answer, next to 1984. All right. We do the same thing for create true false, create essay, create fill in the blank matching. That's a little bit more complicated, the matching fill in the blank. All right, we won't cover that. ExamSoft has some very good videos and tutorials on how to do that. All right. Also, if you're desperate to know how to do that and you've watched the videos and you're still not sure, then come see me. And I'll kind of walk you through the process. It's a little bit different setup, but it's not a big deal. All right. Last thing we're going to take a look at, excuse me, is import questions. So again, if you have a bank of questions that you've already put together that are coming in from ExamView or another test bank kind of service, all right, you would use this import questions area to bring those questions in. All right. There's formatting instructions, all right, in case you're putting them together yourself. All right, there's a sample file, which is always good to look at if you're not quite sure what the format should be, what it should look like. All right, so here you have tab delimited files on this side. Here you have RTF or Word documents on this side. All right. All right, guys, so that's basically how to create a question. In the next video, we will take a look at how to create an assessment, create a test or a quiz, and then we'll figure out how to post it. All right, so we'll see you all in the next video.